people would celebrate the ancient story of how God had sent Moses and led the people from slavery in Egypt into freedom. You know that story. It's the story that our Jewish siblings celebrate this time every year with the cups of wine and the matzahs. It was a story that brought people together to celebrate, to pray, to worship. A lot like Thanksgiving is here. Families would come together. And people would try and go to Jerusalem, to the center of their faith, to offer their praise and their worship to God, celebrating that act of so long ago. There's always the challenge of crowds, though, isn't there? I have a list of places that I would pay money to never be. One of them, for example, is Times Square on New Year's Eve. Well, Jerusalem at Passover was a lot like that, with the crowds pressing in, faithful pilgrims making their way to holy sites, pickpockets moving through the crowd, seeking an easy mark. There were those crazy street preachers. There were the rabble-rousers. There were even revolutionaries. Those who were actively using the crowd as cover as they worked to try and subvert the Roman occupation. Imagine, if you will, though, that you were the governor, that you were the one who's responsible for making sure that things don't get out of hand. You need to keep the peace. What do? You have a parade. Everybody loves a parade, right? Not all. The parade that took place every Passover season in Jerusalem was a military parade. A parade of the Roman legion marching in, with plumes on the helmets waving, with armor shining, with the eagle of Rome carried high above rows of glinting spears, with the Roman commander riding in on a war horse. It was a parade. It was a show of force. It was a not very subtle threat of violence, should the peace not be kept. And that's what was going on in Jerusalem. Jesus and his followers, though, were coming in the back way, by way of the Mount of Olives, passing through Bethany and Bethphage. When Jesus, with his sandaled feet still smelling of Mary's perfume, sent his disciples on ahead. Jesus, you see, had a mission for you. Go on ahead, and you're going to find a colt tied to a gatepost. A colt that's never been ridden. Untie it and bring it to me. Now Jesus, who somehow knew that this colt was going to be there, and then you have to ask yourself, why would someone take a colt that had never been ridden and tie it to a gatepost to begin with, as though it were waiting to be ridden? Jesus sent them ahead and said, and if somebody asks you, why are you taking this colt, just tell them that the Lord needs it. And so they did. I find at the hospital where I work that every so often, when I'm dealing with patients, folks who have been lying in their beds long enough that they've really gotten sick of watching The Price is Right. what's with daytime TV? They need something to fill their days, to fill their minds, to keep them from going stark raving mad. And I'll often have these conversations with people, and they'll say, oh, I wish I had a book. And so usually when someone tells me that, I'll ask, well, what do you like to read? They'll say, oh, something by James Patterson. Or somebody else. But they pick their favorite author, and I walk out, I get on the elevator, I go downstairs to our hospital gift shop. And our hospital auxiliary has a used bookshelf where people who have donated books, they're sitting there, and for 50 cents for a paperback or a buck for a hardcover, you can buy somebody's cast-off books. It's a wonderful thing. And so I scan the shelf and I find, a book by James Patterson or whoever it is they've asked for, because invariably people know who to ask for. And then I'll take it and I'll walk up to the counter of the gift shop where I'm supposed to give them their money. And I'll say, do you remember the story from Palm Sunday? Where Jesus sent the disciples ahead to get the donkey, and if people ask, why are you taking this, to say the Lord has need of it? The Lord has need of this. And then I'll turn and walk off. They're cool with it, by the way. I've done this enough times that it's become a standing joke that now when I walk in with a book, they say, the Lord has need of it? And I say, yes. They say, excellent. And we've even got a Jewish couple who works there, and they know the story now too. But the Lord having need of it, whether it's the book or the donkey, it's something that we can get behind, can't we? That there are sometimes things that we need to do, things that we need to give somebody, things we need to take control of for a bit. So Jesus is on this donkey after the disciples so calmly explain the Lord has need of it. A donkey that's been padded by jackets, making their way into Jerusalem with jackets on the ground, with their cloaks strewn in front of the animal, complete with hoof prints. And they're singing praise to Christ. Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest heaven. In their song, the disciples are celebrating that Jesus is the one who's bringing the peace of heaven into Jerusalem. The peace of heaven. That's the peace that Jesus is keeping. The peace of heaven that transforms the world with love and justice and grace and peace. It's a different kind of peace than what the Roman legions were marching in on that same day. Keeping the peace the very way. But there were those people that day, as Jesus and his followers were coming in, who were paying attention to what was going on, and they were thinking about that other parade, the one with all the weapons. And they were thinking in the backs of their minds that perhaps this isn't the best idea, to come in singing about this heavenly king right under the nose of Pilate. Perhaps this was a dangerous thing to do, and so the Pharisees gathered that day, turned to the disciples and said, shh, hush, be quiet, keep your peace. This could get dangerous. I guess that's another kind of keeping the peace, isn't it? When we don't speak up, when we stay quiet, because we're afraid of the consequences. But you know, Jesus, hearing that, he stopped and he told the disciples, do what you need to do. He turned to the Pharisees and said, don't you realize that if my followers were silent, that even the rocks would cry out? We can't keep the peace by keeping the silence. It doesn't work. It never works. That's never the way that the reign of God comes into fruition. It's through singing the songs that it happens. It's through telling the story that it happens. It's through praising God. Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest heavens. And when we engage that peace, loudly at times, we find real peace coming into being. When the Apostle Paul was writing to the church in Philippi, he told them to have for themselves the mind that was Christ's. A mind that didn't say, oh, I'm the Son of God and I'm special. But instead the mind that led him to be a servant. The mind that led him to heal and teach. To love and to serve, to protect. The love that led him to reach out to the Syrophoenician woman. To break down barriers. The love that led him eventually to the cross. As Christians, that's a hard message for us to hear. We don't like it very much. Maybe when things are going well and we can celebrate with the parade, when we can wave the palms and have everybody think that everything is just going perfectly, it's a nice thing. But when we continue to move forward, when we continue to tell the love of God is something that breaks down systems of oppression, it gets risky. When we build the peace that God calls us to build, we find ourselves challenged. And certainly over the years, there are faithful Christians whose witness to the peace of Christ has brought a cross, or a lion, or an assassin's sword. We've seen it. We know it's true. And that's the next step of our journey. To move from the songs of praise to the risky business of building the peace, of keeping the peace of God, moving forward in the world. May we then, as God's very own people, as the disciples of today, may we sing our songs of praise. May we do the work of building